Alright, you guys, welcome to another episode here at Wristwatch Diaries, where we simply just talk about watches and watch related topics. Now, before we do go on with this video, let's do a quick wristwatch check. I am wearing my 2023 Omega Speedmaster Professional. This is the new version with the 3861 caliber. Now, in the past, I have made videos where I discuss likes, dislikes, about a specific timepiece, and from time to time I introduce you guys to some of the watches that I do own in my possession. Now today we are going to be discussing a question I kind of get very often, whether it's through social media or in person in general. As a watch collector, I kind of stumble upon the similarity of this topic amongst a lot of new watch collectors. Now keep in mind, guys, a quick disclaimer, this is my own personal opinion based on my experience in watch collecting. Now, as a watch collector, which is me, you, and anyone that's trying to get into the hobby, we kind of know that at some point we are going to take a loss at a particular timepiece. Simple fact is that watches are just not a great investment. There are many other places you could park your money in and have a significant return. Watches just isn't one of them, with the exception of very little bit of brands such as Rolex, Patek, or Audemars. Outside of that, watches just don't retain a great value, leaving you to taking a loss of 20, 30, sometimes even half the amount of money that you originally invested in on that retail price tag. Now, you can avoid that by going to the secondary market, finding a very reliable source, and purchasing these luxury timepieces at a hefty discounted price, but you can run into sort of issues going that route as well. It takes a little bit of an experience when it comes to purchasing watches through a secondary market. Now, for example, let's take a watch such as Rolex, which seems like it's the very common watch when it comes to altercations or kind of customizing the timepiece itself by putting diamonds, whether it's onto the bracelet, the dial, or the entire watch itself. And for this video, we're going to focus on a specific model, which is going to be the Rolex Submariner. Now, keep in mind that a Rolex Submariner can range anywhere from $9,000 as high as $15,000. But let's make this number very even and very easy to understand. Let's say that you've managed to somehow source a Rolex Submariner for a $10,000 price tag, retail price tag. Now, you've already invested $10,000 into this watch. For some meticulous reason, you are trying to add diamonds and you want to make some noise. You want to be the big guy in a room when you walk in and you want your watch to shine. Nothing wrong with that. So you found a jeweler that now has quoted you a price based on labor and the parts itself, which could range anywhere from $20,000 all the way as high as $100,000, depends on the quality of diamonds and the amount of work that needs to be put in. But let's just keep this number very low and let's again make it very even and say you've invested $20,000 into the diamonds that you kind of want to add to your Rolex Submariner that you also bought for $10,000. We are looking at a whopping price of $30,000. Now here's where the problem occurs. Now your $30,000 watch, when it comes to liquidating it for whatever mysterious reason you would want to do that, maybe you're just trying to recoup some of the money you've invested and put it into another watch. Maybe you just really don't like the watch and want the money back. So the fastest route to ever liquidate a watch like a Rolex Submariner that's fully covered in diamonds is going to be through a jeweler or through another luxury watch dealer. And you are going to take a significant hit because the market of that watch being sold again to another person with the same sort of taste like you for having diamonds on a Rolex Submariner, it's going to go from here to here. And that's just the reality of it. Not everybody out there wants a watch with diamonds on it. As a matter of fact, the market is actually very small. So now that jeweler knows that he has to hold on to that watch and find a specific client to sell it to. Meaning that if that watch is going to be sitting around, you want to pay as less as possible for that timepiece, meaning that you, the seller, is going to take a significant hit. Unfortunately, it's just the way it works. So now that watch that you've originally invested additional $20,000 is only worth $15,000, which leaves you with a loss of $15,000. So how can you avoid this situation? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, there really isn't a way to avoid it. You can start by maybe not adding diamonds to a Rolex Submariner. Ask yourself, what are the driving factors behind this decision? Am I looking to keep this watch forever? Because if you are, I mean, well, then it doesn't really matter how much the watch is worth. It's simply going to be in your collection till the end of time. But if you know that there's doubt that you might actually sell it, well, you got to be ready to take a significant loss. Now, there's an alternative route for you to go, as you can also purchase a watch that already has diamonds on it directly from the manufacturer, such as Rolex. Yes, that is going to be a much more expensive option, but what happens is when it comes to time to liquidate it, that watch, if not, you break even or sometimes even make a little bit of money. Now you might ask a question, why would a watch that comes out of a factory such as Rolex with diamonds already on it hold its value, and a watch that I decide to have a jeweler put diamonds onto it would lose its value? Well, the answer is simple. The collectors that are out there, they seek authenticity. Unfortunately, your watch is not authentic. As I like to say, it is actually destroyed. You've taken a completely perfect functional timepiece, you drilled a bunch of holes, and you had an aftermarket jeweler add diamonds onto it. Just think of it how that sounds. To a watch collector, we want to see the authenticity. We want the original packaging, we want the original papers, and we want the watch to be as it came out of the factory itself. And that is going to take your clients from here to here. So when you do sell it, there is a much more of a demand for it. And that's all behind it, you guys. On the end of the day, this is your money. You can do whatever you like. These are your timepieces. But keep that in mind, that if you're looking to make money on a watch that you're going to add diamonds to, simply that is just not going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you that. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have more that you want to elaborate on this topic, feel free to leave a comment down in the section below. Give me a thumbs up, and guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.